Yes, I know, Michael. Yeah, I know. Gavin's a very good goalkeeper. I know. Using both hands. I know. What a bloody show off. Yeah, all right then. All right, yeah, catch up soon, Michael. Yeah, up the Thames. That's right, yeah, up the Thames. Oh, dear, Michael. Right then, a few bits to sort out. New sign-in announcements to deal with. Emails and yogurt. Strawberry, yeah, and then home, I would imagine. Who the bloody hell's that? Sorry, this is the studio. Mike Rowe, what are you doing here? Folks, and welcome back to a brand new season on the channel. It's Thames FC and we are back in the Vanarama National, and we've played so far 4 games this season. Lots to talk about, names there that you definitely don't recognise but I've just become aware are there. Well, we'll talk about those in just a moment. Pre-season went fantastically well, by which I mean we didn't win any games other than a testimonial. Also, Barker had a testimonial, the attacking midfielder. Michael Smith came back, the ginger assassin. Good to see him. A shout out to George Heaven, he was there too. But the season proper has started very well. A 2-0 win, a 1-1, a 5-0, and then disappointingly a 1-0 defeat to Hartlepool in our last game. We're going to play Lincoln today, as well as run you through all the transfer bits and bobs. So let's waste no more time. And you're all thinking, who is Mohamed Owusu? We'll get to Owusu in a minute. More like a woo-soo. Yeah, oh yes. So then, as we always do, let's focus on the outs. And we didn't sell anybody because we didn't. Andy Tannoy, Tony Hallett and Johnny Williams, the key names there that have left the team. Andy Tannoy has retired and has become a scout. And based on his ability and potential, I don't think I'm going to get him in as a scout. And then Tony Hallett, off he goes after a few years with us. Some clean sheets, some. Right then, let's focus on what you really want to see. You want to know what's gone on and who you brought in. So these are the names, and obviously a couple of these now will not be unfamiliar to you. Anthony Martin, we're going to start with him. He's the right back that I did say we were bringing in. We've had him sort of trialled in the second half of the season. Decent going forward. I've actually changed the colours in my preferences. People always ask about this, so I'm going to quickly show you what to do in regards to this. If you go to interface and then skin colours, you can change the thresholds. We've upped this to 9 and this to 12. So players that previously would have looked slightly better will appear worse, although actually probably haven't changed all that much, just to fill you in on that. But you can see then, physically very good. It's got good marking, good tackling, decent going forward. 8 crossing actually is not too bad. That would have obviously been a blue a tick beforehand. But yeah, he's okay across the board. 2.5 star at right back. I think he's a little bit more attacking, a little bit better on the ball, so we've brought him in and I'm happy with it. And now we sort of come to everybody else who are new faces. You can see 2 loanees have come from Crystal Palace, 1 from Fulham, a couple of free transfers including Anthony Martin, and then these 2 up top that we'll get to in just a moment. Let's start though with some of the other players. Crystal Palace loanees. Actually, let's go with Scott Pope. Let's do that first. So Scott Pope, free transfer, has been brought in. 16 passing for this division. Left-footed as well, can play on that left-hand side. Of course, we had injuries to Jordan O'Connor last year. So really, I've considered Scott Pope a bit of an upgrade on that, hopefully, at least. You can see from his history, spent his beginning of his career at Oxford, then moved around a little bit, and has ended up at me. Played in the Vanarama last year. Did okay, 10 appearances, but hopefully he can nail down a position this time around. Okay, now to get to the Palace players that we've brought in, and I'm very, very happy with both of these loans. Now, I think you'd say it Taj. Taj Holness has come in. Hopefully I've said that correctly. The Jamaican, you can see immediately. Oh, God. His heading is 14, his marking is 13, tackling 15, physically pretty good as well. Could do it with a little bit of work in the pace department, but I think for a loanee for Thames this season, he's already done a 7.15. We've had a decent start, remember. Yeah, could be very good. If his mental's improve, he's 18 years of age. I think this is probably the best defender we've had at the club, just generally and in total. I quite 6'2". I like it. Simon Doherty is the other one, another Crystal Palace loanee. Again, very, very good central midfielder. You've seen we've brought in Pope, but Simon Doherty and Pope now will hopefully vie for this left-hand side of midfield position. It's interesting, though, that neither of them start in my 11, and that sort of tells its own story. It's more system-based. We may well see, if you ever have to change system, Simon Doherty will be straight in there and will certainly feature, whether it be on that left side or in this central role. We'll have to wait and see. Good passing, as mentioned, physically very good. Work rate's very good as well. Some of his mentals for an 18-year-old are very very good indeed. Again, spent a few years at Crystal Palace and now joins us on loan. Stays in London, I think that helped. Now, we stay in London and we go to Fulham. Keon Harris, now this man, looks very good, I think. Ball-winning midfielder, defensive, and this is the man, actually, that is going to start games for us this season, and when I reveal the system, you'll see why. Mentally, extraordinarily good for this division, but I think he's from, is that from Barbados? Is that what that means? Barbadian? Yeah, Barbados. I love that. So he's from Barbadian. I don't know if he'll definitely be in the first team at some point, you would imagine, but I think looks really, really solid, physically very good, mentally superb, technically he's got all the right bits in the right areas, good passing, good technique, and that's what you want to see. Good at set pieces as well. Corners and free kicks are his bag, and hopefully we'll see a bit of that this season. It takes the tempo too. At 6 foot, he's got a bit of a complete package about him, and I think he could be very, very good. As I mentioned then, similar to the Crystal Palace loanees, hasn't really featured in their first teams, and gets a loan move out to us, and I'm very grateful for it, Fulham. Thank you. Now, I've been saving him. Now, you will notice immediately that Owusu from Stanway is someone we have looked at before. Those who have been tuned into this series will think, hang on, that does ring a bell. Mohamed Owusu, here we go. So there he is. Those down arrows make it look not as impressive. Let's not show those. Let's just focus on this. You can already see those. Striker, shoots with power, runs the ball down the right hand side, likes to beat the offside trap. Very, very quick. Finishing only at 10. Hopefully we can improve that. He's 24 now though, so I don't think it's going to change that dramatically. But we will try and work on it a little bit. Composure, off the ball, first touch. The best thing about this, folks, is that, and I mentioned it before, it's not a loan signing. He's my player. And this season, I think we could see the very best of him. 5'11", already got 5 in 4, and has scored goals for fun in the Vanarama National over the last few years. Was released from Norwich, ended up on loan. Actually, had a lot of loan spells, I should say. Then was bought in by Stanway, quite a few divisions below, and then we've managed to pick him up on a free transfer. £850 a week. It's a lot of money, and a little bit too much money, for being honest. And then finally, Bright. Now, hold on. Anu Bakar. Bright Anubaka is coming. I think we're going to call him Bright throughout this series. Hoddesdon, that's the team we've got him from. And yeah, thank you to them. If they've got any other good ones, that he's all right. But this is the best of the bunch, I think. And I dare say, Owusu's slightly better, but Bright is not bad at all. 14 dribbling. You can already tell where he's going to play in that attacking midfield role. Physically pretty good. He's a real player as well. Great flair. Mentals are very, very good. 29 years of age. So you'd kind of expect that. Was capped at under 19 level. And yeah, I think you said at Wolves. Yeah, if you're a Wolves fan, he may well be familiar to you. You may well know of his work. And if you are aware of his work, by all means, let me know. Has plied his trade recently in League One. Stepped down a little bit to play for Hoddesdon, one of these weird situations, and we've picked him up again on a free. 3 assists in 4 appearances, a 7.47, and looks very good. And that then brings us to the system, changing things around a little bit. So if you've been watching me for a while, maybe on Twitch or on YouTube, you'll know that this formation and me have an on-off relationship, and this is what we're going with then. It's the isometric. I don't know if it's like, is it a 4-3-3? Is it a 4-5-1? I don't really know what you describe it as, but I guess isometric in a way. It's a bit like, actually, wasn't Thames symmetric? Was that what we played at the start? I can't even remember. It was so long ago, folks. I'm so sorry. But this then is the lineup for the future. There'll be some names here that are familiar to you that you've seen play for me before, but there's a lot of lovely green on that, and I like that everyone's playing the position that I want them to be in. I set targets for myself. I went out and got those targets, and now this is the 11 that is, for me, quite clearly our best 11. And it's worth noting the likes of Jack Hallahan, Jordan O'Connor, Lukey Brucey, Andy Douglas, Kevin McCormack, they're all still here, but we've added really good strength in depth now, especially that midfield area. So Fitzpatrick will be in goal. We'll go through them, shall we? Fitzpatrick in goal, 23 years of age, the Irishman, was brought in last season, of course, and I love him so much. 6'4" as well. Anthony Martin, who've just gone through. We've also got Holness, again, who've just gone through. Colette's there as well. They obviously, I always name him as the guy that we got from Arsenal on a free transfer. Hopefully this year could be a season to kick on. So far, it started the year very, very well, as has everybody when you look at those average ratings. Pring, who has ordinarily been playing at centre-back, is now moving out to that left-back role. We'll see how he does there. If it doesn't quite work out, that's an area in which I'll probably go in there and get someone in and try and improve things ever so slightly. If we just move that's a bloody mess over there. Harris then. Keon Harris from Fulham sits just in front as this ball winner, just shielding that back line, with Foster giving the licence to get forward and support. Let's do that now. I'm so sorry. If this is your surname, I'm really sorry. But for the everybody, for the good of everyone, we're going to have to change it. Foster then will be supporting Bright behind Owusu. We've got Clark Slocum still on the right-hand side, Chris Day still on the left-hand side. There's a bit of a question mark over Clark Slocum. I could improve him, and I think this season I wonder next episode if he'll still be on the right of midfield. I feel kind of bad about it. He's been here for a good number of years now and has done very well for me. He started the season particularly well too, but we can get better in this role, and it might be the point in which we have to get, maybe if it's just a loan deal, that I have to look to improve it. But it hurts a little bit. He's like a little bit of a Jeff Thomas 2.0. He's very consistent with how many assists and goals he gets, so it's tricky. But that then is the 11 with Owusu up top and Brighton behind. We've got these three sort of attacking players. I've loved the late runners of attackers, so having Brighton Foster as sort of almost that midfield two that used to push on. They're still kind of there. In a way, it's not hugely dissimilar to what we've played in the past. It's not a million miles away. If you put Day further forward, if you brought Bright further back, then it would look very similar. But I just think with the players we've got now, with the tacticians and technical ability, we've got a chance at this league, and I think definitely playoffs this year has to be the ambition. And as I mentioned before, the way we've started, I don't think you can look beyond the fact that we should maybe be challenging. We've got ourselves a big test today, though. Lincoln coming up away from home. They're in 4th position. This might give us more of an indication of where we sit in the football ladder in this division. And I always like to show this season preview. We're 16th, which I actually think is pretty good. Fitzpatrick's in goal as well, which I absolutely love. Okay then, Lincoln today. Let's progress a little bit forward and see what we got Boston after this as well. I guess we'll see how this game goes. What we might do next week is a bit of sort of a behind the scenes. We do sort of the extras where we sort of go behind the scenes to look a little bit more in detail. We'll probably talk through this team tactically, what I'm thinking with it at some point next week. But there you can see the boys. Bright now, the only real player with Hallahan departing from the starting 11 and Bright being brought in. He's the only man now that is a real human. So thank you, Bright. The question is, can these boys do the business? I realise the name of that tactic is incorrect. Right, I'm going to say with the underdogs against Lincoln, it's fair enough. I don't know how good their side will be. I suspect relatively good. Actually, how did Lincoln get on last year? We should maybe have a little look at that. I don't think did they get relegated? Yeah, League 2 last year, they came bottom of the division in League 2. Well, maybe I don't know then. Okay, we're starting on this standard flexible style, keeping it quite simple, hopefully letting our creative players be creative in their own right without having to try and force it too much, as Owusu, putting a bit of pressure on. If he can win this back off Lewis, who has to go back to Archer in goal, and they find it out to Woods quite neatly. Foster, though, gets in there. Martin plays with Owusu. First chance of the game, Owusu shoots on goal, Archer with the save, but good signs from us early on. I mean, of course, let me know in the comment section, what do you think of the signings? Who do you think the best player is? And do you think that, is it Simon Doherty should be playing? Probably. Hughes forward, though, for Lincoln. Sorry, you shouldn't laugh at others' misfortune, but that was quite funny. They've got 2 bookings in 10 minutes on 2 defenders. Quite like it. Another highlight, 27 minutes about to tick over on the clock, and it's Lincoln, that the side that come forward. Of course, experience in these upper divisions, so are going to be a tricky tie for us, perhaps, as Collette plays through. Owusu, that's what you get, Ben. That's karma, that is. That's karma right there. The ball again in the possession of Thames as Bright plays over to Clark Slocum, who gets into the area. Can he pull it back for one of us? He can. Bright's there and smashes it home, and Bright with a goal. That's what we're talking about. 3:30 minutes nearly gone on the clock. 4th position for Thames, and we take a 1-0 lead over Lincoln, which you've got to say, in the context of the whole series, is a pretty big result. Bright with a lovely ball out to Clark Slocum, who makes his way into the area, and this pullback is to perfection. Bright with a late run as well, finishes it off. The Thames fans behind the goal go wild in the Lincolnshire. Sincil Bank. I've been to Sincil Bank many times. Throw in, though, to Lincoln. 35 minutes gone as they find Woods, and Williams and Woods combine again, and it's a smart finish, and quite a well-worked move, you've got to say. Lincoln level with Tom Woods, and it was quite a nice goal. It was quite calm. It was quite patient as well, actually. But, yeah, the way they sort of find themselves as an opening for themselves. The challenge comes in, then a smart finish. Fitzpatrick. It was right in the corner. You can't get there. There's another highlight. 38 minutes gone now. And I'm interested because Martin's played a lovely ball to Owusu. He was in again. Oh, I thought he'd scored. I thought it was top corner business. It wasn't. It wasn't. So half time then, 1-1, and I've got to say, I think you probably agree, we've looked the better side, so I'm going to change very, very little here. I might aggressively say we can do better than this. I don't think anything needs to be said right now. You know what to do, and then I'm going to sort of passionately try and G them up a little bit and see what we can get from them. I mean, so far so good. They seem to like the passionate. There's a lot more to come from you, and they believe they've got what it takes. Corner to us, played in, and we started the highlight with the corner, so I'm already worried. Ordinarily, corners, as we know, don't come to very much. Pring does very well. Martin and Pring sort of get into a bit of a calamity at the back. Headed clear, Foster on it, and that ball through the middle. We know how dangerous it can be. Owusu's ready for it at any time as Clark Slocum dribbles it down the right-hand side, not very successfully, but Collette now will intercept, and Foster's on it once again. And he's going to be our main outlet in midfield to be creative, to get moves going, to pick out killer passes as it goes forward to Gilbert, forward into Williams, though, to Pugh, and Fitzpatrick hits with a big save and tips over the bar. Out to Williams on the edge. You suspect... Corners, well, corners. I got a lovely tweet recently that said that they were watching football, and because of me now, when they see a corner, they just expect nothing. So, I mean, maybe we're starting a movement. Corners are boring. Maybe we should kick corners out of football, which is ironic because you do kick the ball out to get. Anyway, you know what I'm saying. 20 minutes to go. Question is, do you bring on the likes of Lukey Brucey? Do you bring Doherty on in the centre? Maybe for Day out on that left-hand side. That might be a move you make. I've done it once before. I might do it again as Woods goes very close to a second. Now, with how tight the division is, I'm actually going to do that. Doherty's going to come on over on that left-hand side. He's left-footed. He's natural out there. And he's technically very good. So I guess we'll see as a challenge goes through the back there. Number 11, Harris, second yellow card. He's off. Oh my God, he's off. Okay, well, not ideal, but I do have a plan in case this happens, especially now bringing Doherty on as well. Foster's going to stay on this right side. Doherty's now going to patrol the left-hand side. Clark Slocum's going to come off. Douglas slots into the centre as a ball winner. And, yeah, not too much changes there. And Bright now just plays in behind Owusu. Not ideal, obviously, and it makes us certainly less threatening with 12 minutes to go as Lincoln play the ball. Oh, my God. Doherty headed it straight into the path of Woods, and he managed to miss it. We're going to go to the counter-attack. Final 10 minutes. 5 minutes left to go, and can the 10 men of Thames hang on? Martin will get in there. If he can fire a ball forward, or Foster perhaps as well, into Bright now. And can these two up front, the new additions, can they make the difference in these late stages? Bright races forward, ball into the middle, perhaps Owusu's there. It's a baffling touch. Oh my... I'm not sure. It wasn't very bright, ironically. And that was... The highlight is now continuing. Very nervy moments here as Woods races forward and we've brought him down. Welcome back to another season with Thames, everyone. Cole steps up. Fitzpatrick will not be mugged off. I mean, that was a mad minute, wasn't it there? There's 3.5 minutes left to go in this game. Will there be a winner? Douglas into Foster. The ball forward's good. Owusu's on it. Can he make up for his earlier mistakes? Oh, Owusu. As you've seen, he's already got 5 goals this season. And I'd have banked on him to score at least, he could have had 3 in this game. But with 5 seconds to go and the header forward by ours, it looks as if that's going to be game over. And it is a good away point, though, I've got to say, against Lincoln, recently relegated. Not too bad at all. Big save from Fitzpatrick, went down to 10 men. All action in this game. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Oh, man, Owusu there. He's had a 5.8. That's the worst he's played for me by far. I was going to say unlucky, boys. Wasn't our day. But, we could have won it. Harris is banned, which is not ideal, but there we are. Then that is going to wrap things up for that game. If you enjoyed it, do drop a like. If you want to see some more, subscribe to the channel, and we'll love with care. If we don't mention until next time, I'll see you again on Monday at 5 PM for more. Goodbye. And that will bring us to the end. JC and Silver, thank you so much for the support over on Patreon, and don't forget, as soon as we go professional, we'll be getting players, and with the squad we've got now, we're getting closer.